of all, when you jump on the rower, obviously you need to make sure that you set a few things up. So make sure the strap is over your laces. So you pick a number on that. You want to make sure that the resistance level on the rower suits what you're doing. So for this, because it's a fairly longer row, you want it to be somewhere between 6 and 8. Alright? I like to row on a bit of a high resistance, so I row on 8, but that's not for everyone. You don't need to go anywhere near 10, and you don't need to go anywhere near 1. Somewhere around the 7 mark is fine, okay? So then, on here, when you're rowing, so if I press just row, you really need to pay attention to some of the metrics on this screen. So you've got your pace, which is per 500 metres, and you've got your stroke rate. They're probably the two most important things that you need to look at if we're going for distance. For me, I know that if I'm going to row somewhere around under 500 metres, and I'm going to do it for time, I want this to be under 130, so like even close to 120 per 500 metres. If I'm going to row double that distance, so a kilometre, I want to row at just under 140 in the 130s for the whole time. If I'm going to go longer than that, say a 2K, well, I'm looking at somewhere in the 140. So I'm always looking at this big number there. So it's a good thing to start keeping track of when you row. If you're doing calories, then it's a slightly different number, but I like to go off meters. And then the other thing is this one on the bottom left, your strokes per minute. So if you start rowing and you're rowing at 40 strokes per minute, you're going to get tired pretty quickly. You're better off when you row to push harder and pull harder and row slower than to go faster and lighter. So for me, like I said, I look at that number and make sure it's on a certain point, and my stroke rate is going to be somewhere between 24 and 27 strokes per minute. Okay, I'm a bit stronger than some people in here, so my strokes will be harder, therefore I can go a little bit slower, but you don't want to be rowing anywhere faster than 30 strokes a minute. So if you look at that number and it's up around 40, you've got to slow down and put more effort into each stroke. Alright? So rowing metrics, they're the two numbers you've got to look at. Sweet? Thanks for being part of my